So next, we'd like to learn from Mr. Jamal. And Mr. Jamal, so of course, we understand from Malaysia context that you've been working and you've been substantially involved with the ENET since its inception as well. So for more than 2 decades, a lot has happened in Malaysia with regard to policymaking, addressing acid deposition and air pollution. So we'd like to hear, could you describe a little bit around the development of policies over the last few decades relating to the addressing such things, these emissions of the acid deposition substances like SO2 and NOx, or in general air pollution. So if you could give us a snapshot of what you've seen, the trends, as well as learning opportunities that might be transferable for us today. So over to you, Mr. Jamal.
Thank you, Courtney, for the questions. Distinguished panelists, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. The emissions of air pollutants such as sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides are caused by the combustion of fossil and other fuels from industrial sectors, automotive sectors, households, forest fires, and many other human activities. And these posed a negative impact on the human health particularly, and on the quality of life in general if no proper action or mitigation or intervention is taken to curb the problem. So over the last 20 years, the Malaysian government has implemented various policies and stringent monitoring processes to reduce the amount of SO2 and NOx emitted into the atmosphere. In line with the Malaysian National Policy on Environment, which aims at continued economic, social, and cultural progress of Malaysia and enhancement of the quality of life, a Clean Air Action Plan, or CAAP, has been developed to ensure better air quality in Malaysia. The Clean Air Action Plan has streamlined strategies to reduce air pollution from industrial emission, vehicular emissions, biomass burning, and forest fires, and also supports activities such as awareness program, capacity buildings, and institutional framework to be implemented for target groups within a dedicated timeline. The performance of Malaysia's CAP is followed through and revised from time to time. Among the policies related to the reduction of acid deposition, SO2 and NOx, is the introduction of an emission standard for SO2 and NOx through Malaysia's Clean Air Regulation, or CAR 2014. This regulation governs specific industries and activities such as power stations, petrochemicals, palm oil industry, and others. Furthermore, the strategies for a better fuel quality and engine emissions standards has been in place under the CAAP with the implementation of Euro 4 petrol since September 2015 and January 2020, and Euro 5 diesel in all gas stations in Malaysia since October 2021. Euro 5 diesel in Malaysia is mixed with 7% biodiesel, which is premium quality, and 10% biodiesel, which are known as Euro 5 B7 and Euro 5 B10 respectively. In terms of capacity building for industries as well as environmental officials, competency certification is introduced to enhance understanding and skills among them in air pollution control. In the industrial sector, mitigation steps are undertaken in line with the Environmental Quality Act 1974. For instance, the improvement of scrubbers and continuous emission monitoring strategies. Department of Environment of Malaysia regularly conducts environmental audits to check and ensure pollutant absorption, and continuous emission monitoring strategies are undertaken by the respective industrial premises. These mitigative steps are undertaken in line with the guidelines and criteria for registered continuous emission monitoring system, or CEMS tester. The Malaysian government undertakes serious commitment to reducing the emissions of pollutants. The government is aggressively pursuing advanced green industry practices in line with the Environment Quality Act 1974. The various phases of the related green industry practice guidelines involve the pre-audit phase, green industry audit, generation of green industry options, evaluation and prioritization of green industry options, implementation and monitoring of green industry options, and continual improvement. Not limiting to green initiatives in the industry sector, recent policies undertaken by the government of Malaysia in other economic and social sectors include the EIA guidelines for transportation and road projects, and EIA guidelines for housing, new township, and industrial estate development. On another note, the Malaysian Meteorological Department operates the National Acid Deposition Monitoring Network. And the data from the past 20 years of the acid deposition network reveal a reduction in rainfall acidity, especially in the peninsula of Malaysia. In addition, consistently, a slight reduction in atmospheric sulfate and nitrate is also observed in the peninsula. And these observations seem to be in line with the pollution reduction policy undertaken by the government thus far. Thank you. Back to you, Courtney.